What's up, bro? What's up,
Yo,
bro?
what's up, Amos? Thanks for having me. And I have three quick questions. Doesn't involve anything with females. First one would be time management,
Mm,
and it would be in two different cases. Where the first one would be when you are not behind, but you want to
mm,
be ahead of everyone else. I'm a university student, so in my case, time management is very crucial in order for me to not have that stress over me. And where I live is the UK.
mm,
And you may or may not know the UK has lockdown right now, so I flew
mm,
back home to Sweden.
mm.
Um, so how would you handle time management in your case? So that would be my first question.
So basically, you saying you
When you're
got
not behind, when you're not behind.
so you basically saying you got a lot of things on your plate you trying to handle right now at one time. Is what you saying?
Yes, but I'm not really behind. So the first case would be when I'm not behind, how would I how would I do the time management where I can
I
do
got you.
things?
All right. So
And the
this
second one would be when I'm behind.
this is me, and I tell everybody this is how you. Any guys who want to know anything about time management and stuff like this, you got to go in level of importance, priority. Everything's got to be on
Hmm.
what's the priority. When the police get a call and somebody call about a shoplifting,
Hmm.
and then over here we got a shooting. Who you think the police are gonna respond to first? They're gonna respond to the shooting over the shoplifting, and that's the same way you is. You got
Hmm.
to do everything off of priority. So, what's putting food on the table first and foremost? What's the most important to you? So, I'm gonna structure everything around that. That gets my top priority first. Top priority. You put it down on your calendar. Boom. And then the second thing, your second priority. So basically, you're gonna put everything, and then what as the list goes down, if you don't get to it, then you just don't get to it because it's at the bottom of the priority list. You get what I'm saying? And so the same way with the
Hmm.
police, how they handle priority. When the president comes in, he comes in and he looks at everything he needs to get done. He handles the stuff that's a top priority first, and then the bullshit he get to it when he get to it. And if you see any president when they come in, what the main thing that they ran off of or what they top priority, that's the first thing they start tackling with Congress, and that's how you got to handle it. I do everything off of priority. I do this with my women. Who do I like the most? All right, she gonna get the best
Hmm.
day. She gonna get Saturday because that's the priority. You can always tell where you at with a woman in her priority by what day she give you. If she ain't got nothing but Wednesday and she talking about something, I'm going out of town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Bitch ain't going out of town. She's sucking dick Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with some dude. You just ain't that
True
priority.
that.
So
Hmm.
I don't know what your schedule is, but you gotta label everything as in priority. And as the list goes down, if you don't get to it, if it was that important to you, you would have got to it. You get what I'm saying? So handle your things. That's the top priority first, whatever that is, whether it's school and or whatever you're doing. Handle that top priority first. When I first started joining YouTube, it took me a long time to write my first book. It was at the bottom of my priority list. I was still had my security company and I still was training clients. You see what I'm saying? It took me over a year to write my first book because it was at the bottom of my priority list. You see what I'm saying? If it was at the top of my priority list, I would have
Hmm.
wrote that book in fucking 2-3 months. But it wasn't. You see what I'm saying? It was at the bottom. So you got to
Yeah.
handle priorities. That's for all my guys on here that's wondering about time management and stuff.
All right. So thanks about that. So the second question would be the
Mhm.
correct way to do progressive overload. So I have an issue doing that. So I tried different methods where I try to do lower reps, but training strength and then doing the hypertrophy that you mentioned before. And sometimes I realize that um, when I increase the weights like every week or every 2 weeks, I
Mhm.
don't really feel like I can do the form correctly. So I go
Mhm.
back to the previous one and then I try to just focus on the form, but I don't really get to that level that I want to be after like 2, 3 months. So what's the correct way of doing it?
When I was a trainer, guys, and my guys would hit plateaus and stuff. What I found out what worked for them, and you could try this, was cycling your workouts. So basically, what I would do was I would do a hypertrophy um, program, right?
Hmm.
But I would cycle it with an endurance to shock the muscles to break plateaus. So for instance, say for 6 weeks, you do hypertrophy training, right? And then you cycle out for 2 or 3 weeks where you're doing endurance, where you're doing more reps, shorter rest, right? To shock the body, because the body adapts real quickly to what you're doing. So you can't continuously take the weight up every week. You're gonna hit the plateau. And so what I would do with my clients was we would stay in that 10 rep range, and I would do that for 6 weeks. And then to shake things up, I would go for 2 or 3 weeks into where we're doing more of an endurance workout to break it up so their body can adapt to the hypertrophy. So try that. So like 6 weeks hypertrophy, 2-3 weeks. Let's just say for you, 2 weeks endurance, which is going to be high reps, not crazy, not 50, like 15 to 20 reps, right? Preferably around that 15 range, and shorter rest and supersets. So it's going to be based more around endurance more so than hypertrophy. And then go back to hypertrophy. So try that 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 6 weeks hypertrophy, 2 weeks endurance. And that'll break the monotony up a little bit so your body can adapt. Same thing, go for cardio. When you do whatever you do cardio, you got to shake it up a little bit. If you do whatever you do, your body going to try to adapt to it real quick. So whatever you do, you got to do like a cycle on, cycle off, and do something else. And it ain't got, when I say something else, that don't mean 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off. All it takes is 2 weeks just to get your body out of that routine.
All right.
So
the last one would be the sleep schedule.
Mm-hmm. So
I will give it a try. I haven't tried that one. That was a new one, so I appreciate it. So the last one will be regarding going back to the workflow. I get a crazy workflow that messes up my sleeping schedule. So let's say I start working after school. Let's say like sometime at 5 p.m. or something like that, and I'll go on until 5 a.m. in the morning because I have such a crazy workflow. And if I go back to sleep and I wake up in the morning, I just lose it. I don't have that workflow where I can be productive. So how can I break that, or how can I keep that flow the next day when I wake up in the morning?
So you saying that you're not able to sleep the whole night, or you're not getting the whole 6 to 8 hours? That's that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically. Or sometimes I sleep 5 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes I sleep 1 a.m. in the morning, depending on the workflow, because I want to get things done. As you said, when I have something listed this day, I want to get it done this day. And sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes I get it done quickly. So it messes up with the sleeping schedule, and obviously affects my training, my health, my stress levels, and that. So how can I fix that?
What I just said. What's the first thing I told you? When you asked the first question, what I told you. If you want, you got to prioritize
with the most important if you want it.
Right. So if you saying I want to improve my sleep, then what does that mean? You can't just
that would be the first one to do.
You got to make sure that you saying, okay, whatever time it is, this is what time I'm gonna knock off. So I got to get my 6 to 8 hours sleep. You got to. If it means that much to you, and that's what you sound like you're saying to me, you got to prioritize it in there. By this time, I'm in the bed. That's what you got to do. If it means that much to you, if you're saying sleep is affecting my performance, then what we got to do? We got to make it a priority then. If you saying all bodybuilders and stuff, they know sleeping and eating and all this type of stuff is important to what they want to look like. So they prioritize it all up. They don't say, well, I'm having a hard time getting my meals in and getting my sleep in. Well, it's not a priority to you. If it's a priority to you, you're going to get your meals in, you're going to get your training in, and you're going to get your sleep in. If it's not that big of a priority to you, then you're not going to get it in. So you have to make it a priority. You have to say, I'm in the bed every night by X time, and I'm going to wake up at this time. And you have to make it a priority. If that means something else that's a less priority gets thrown to the backdrop, then that's just what it means. But priority means just what it says, priority. So I'm gonna make sure that this is what I'm gonna do, and whatever I'm doing that was that not a top priority that was causing the issue with that might have to go. That might be women. That might be your social life. I don't know what it is, but something has to go, and that has to stay. You have to make that sleep a bigger priority in your life if you want to get it. You're not making it a priority. That's why you're not getting it.
All right. Thanks, Amos. So that would be my 3 questions for the day. And I appreciate it once again, and keep doing whatever you're doing.
No problem, bro. So y'all guys got to understand that anything that you want to do in life or accomplish, you got to make it a priority. That it's just that simple, right? You got to make it a priority. If y'all guys want to get lean, well, you got to make preparing your meals, training, and doing your cardio a priority. Don't come to me saying, hey, AMS, I'm having a hard time getting my meals in and getting my cardio in. Well, it's not a priority to you. You don't want it bad enough. So you want to achieve it. If you want to achieve it, you're going to book that in, and all that other bullshit, it'll go to the backdrop. It has to become a priority to you.